Good afternoon and welcome to North Hobart Oval for round 7 TSL action between North Hobart and the Northern Bombers. Big match in store for you here this afternoon. It's third taking on fifth on the ladder. An important game for both sides' finals aspirations. Slightly overcast conditions here with just the hint of threat of rain about. Shouldn't be anything too significant. So I'll just get my audio levels sorted for the listeners out there. Right there, Macca all over that. Alrighty. Siren sounding. We're just about to get underway here. Big news in the pre-game was from the Northern Bombers side of things. Brandon Leary is a late out from those named teams. Jacob Kerr will take his spot in the starting 22. And that's a big blow for the Bombers, who probably come into this one as the favourites here. The Demons, well, last week they took on Clarence. It was a 17-point loss in the end. They won the game for a little bit, but ultimately never really looked like getting up in that one. The Bombers thumping Glenorchy. So coming in off the back of a 74-point win and a pretty comprehensive win over Lauderdale the week before. So they're entering this contest in pretty good form. They're going to take some serious stopping. Slight delay to the start here, I think, with the pre-game. The curtain raiser just running a little overtime, but we're nearly in readiness for this one. Nick Jackson takes his place in the middle. He'll be in the ruck. Keys to the game, well, you have to say for North Hobart, so much of their hopes will be on Jack McCulloch. He was sensational a week ago against Clarence. He's going to need a big game here today. It looks like Lee Flang might be standing him to start this one. That's going to be a vital matchup. Clearly looked like their most likely avenue to goal. So we'll see if they're able to put the clamps on him this week. But we're just about ready here to get underway. As like Harvey Griffiths just heading to the Pine. Players in position. We're in readiness. And Spencer White to take the first ruck contest. He'll be up against Alex Lee for the Bombers, who comes into this one in some mighty impressive form. Alex Lee, he absolutely dominated a couple of weeks ago against the Southern Bombers. And ready to go. The umpire to press the ball down into the turf in the middle of this fine oval in North Hobart. And a perfect bounce to get us underway. Lee comes over the top, won it down. Pearce couldn't quite gather, so back the other way comes Dominic White. His kick didn't really clear the area. Handball flicked across there by Nicholas. Now the Bombers try and gather a hold of the football, but first to it there was Sam Wright, dived on top. Flicked the handball out the back, and there was Mitchell. Spreads it wider. Lefebvre applying the pressure, but they negotiate the situation well and kick it up towards the wing. The big men fly. No one can gather. Sandrick slams it on the boot and tumbles it towards forward 50. Pitches and spins backwards. Who can be first to the fall of this one? Simpson comes in, applies good pressure. A little bit of a mishandle there. Lets in Lefebvre. Gets his kick away deep. Lee Flang takes front position against McCulloch here. Some support comes in from the side in the form the defender, but charging away with Lee Flang. That is great stuff from the fullback, leading the counter-attack, and they send it long down the line. A good mark taken by Theo Ives at half forward. So Ives looks up, has some options presenting themselves. Opts to just hold up and wait for the options. Cox Goodyear was on short, ignores that, goes further still, and the relieving mark is taken out back by Monks. Chips it short to Norton. Norton, handball over the top. Sandra could be next link in the chain. Ooh, dicey handball, that one though. Coughs up a little easily. Tumbling kick, bouncing goal is off target. And a minor score there for Simpson. Just a little careless by hand there from Sandra, as Norton again wants to go by hand. Puts it straight into the man on the mark again. And they're going to escape, but it was very scrappy and could easily have led to a goal. They were clear defensive 50. Got a 2-on-1 here, and White takes a good mark. Tight to the boundary line. White chipping it in centrally. He found Bingham. He's held up there by Sulzberger. Bingham with some dash. Wheels past the man on the mark and drives it long. It's a wide open 50 behind them, but they can't get there because it's a great intercept mark. Has been taken back there. The Bombers just halted temporarily as Mitchell drives them down the wing. Off the hands of Ives, and now to play for a throw in. So fast start to this one. Both teams looking to move the ball quickly. Opening going, North Hobart Oval, round 7 TSL action. Potentially huge 4 points up for grabs. Be one of those games where we look back later in the season and reflect upon. Lee taps it boundary side, then gathers it, but wanders across and will go again. White once again off against Lee. Lee decisively won it down. Swung deep inside the forward 50. Spoil came from behind from Campbell. Not quite gathered, hitting that with speed. There was Simpson, went back inside. Turning back the other way is Ahern. On his left, he sends it long. Sandrick tracking it back. It's going to beat all comers and float out of bounds on the full. So Sandrick from the back pocket. Switches across the face. Zach Barrow, last line of defence. Finesses one up there. Stretching was Roberts. He's been painted, has he? Looked a little out of bounds to me, but Roberts, giving the benefit of the doubt, chips it in. And now taken by Stephenson at centre-half back. He'll drive them outside defensive 50. It's a poor kick, though. Invited danger and chopped off by Bales. Bales now will drive the Bombers inside 50 once more. Sends them deep in the Ives direction. Got a hand to it. Campbell had position. Norton will just escort it across the line. Another minor score. Bombers doing all the attacking here in the opening 4 minutes. So Demons just having a little trouble clearing defensive 50. But that's a good kick. Finds Tyler McGuinness, who rather curiously decided to play on that. And he couldn't get around Alex Lee. I thought he had the dexterity to go around the big man. Didn't. We'll have a throw in at half forward for the Bombers. Lee once again won it down. Bingham coming through. White's handball pinned in there to Sulzberger. They drive it long to the goal square. Might float over the top all the way for a goal. Sulzberger. Well, it just kept carrying. Maybe a little bit of wind there. But it floats on through for the first major of the afternoon. It'll go the Bombers' way. And they move along there. 1-2-8. They've done the bulk of the attacking. They've had plenty of inside 50s in these opening 5 minutes. They felt the goal was coming, and there it was, slightly misjudged by the last line defenders from the Demons. Couldn't get a hand to it. Bombers get some scoreboard reward for their early control of this one. They've been in some scintillating touch the past couple of weeks, the Bombers, and they've started hot here. Lee wins it down through Pearce. He's gathered by Norton, then White comes in over the top. White this time, won it down. Norton couldn't get his kick away. Umpire lets it go, but it's not going to escape, and he'll call for it once more. Thumped away by Lee. White got hands to it, couldn't gather. Nicholas in there for the Bombers. Handball over the top, a good one to Pearce. Pearce keeps it moving in the Ives direction. Just worked underneath the ball nicely there by Campbell. Oh, not nice. The umpire said he pushed him out. It'll be a free kick the way of Ives. So the Bombers will get the chance to extend their lead through Theo Ives from the forward pocket. From the pocket. Goes with the left. And just sends it across the face for a minor score. So 1-3-9. The Bombers move along too as McGuinness will take the clearing kick, and he sends it all the way to centre wing. Good drive there. Gathered but not controlled by Wright. Sent now into the middle. Big hard ball to be won here. Nicely done by Finlay Poke. He got it up to Norton. The handball, a poor one though. Couldn't find a teammate. The Bombers will pounce once more. Sweeping it across half back. Eluding tackles Bales. And then shows some composure just to flick the switch, and we'll try down the other flank. Bennett sends them long. Oh, a slip there, he's off. He's going to have to get up. The pressure coming from White. Drives it down the line. Spoil there away from Pearce. A throw in. Struggling to get the ball forward of centre at the moment. The Demons. Almost firmly in the ascendancy in the early exchanges here. Jackson into the ruck now for the Demons. Shallow throw, Lee gathers it and swings it on his left, floating forwards, but carries all the way out of play. So he'll take over in the back pocket, right, presenting at half back. Doesn't see anything he likes, so immediately retreats to Campbell. McGuinness is deep, dangerous kick. McGuinness gets a hand to it. Campbell comes in support. The pressure being applied there by Avent. Ball still in dispute here in the goal square. They're trying to rush it through. And in the end, it's carried across the line by Barrow. But this is very dicey stuff at the back from the Demons. Oh, speaking of dicey, they've used every centimetre of North Hobart over there. Norton takes the mark in the back pocket. Lefebvre presenting up as the half-forwards try to get involved as they try and move the ball out of defence here. They'll go by hand once more. Sandrick to Bingham. Bingham chunks inside there. Back to Sandrick. Some good run and carry there. Now they send it deep. Who's going to be first to this one? Dangerous ball going off the ground. For a miraculous goal is McLeod. Super stuff. Harrison McLeod pulls a rabbit out of the hat. Knew he didn't have time to bend over and pick the ball up, so he just went off the deck. And rolls it on through for a fine goal. First chance of the afternoon, a real half chance, but he's made it count. And they get there first and cut the margin back here. So 3 points, and for all the Bombers' dominance early on, 4 points, sorry, for all the dominance, they've not shown it on the scoreboard as of yet. I sense it's going to be an afternoon where if the Demons that have caused the upset, they're going to need to take their chances like that. They're going to need to be accurate in front of goal. That's a good start. Some good run and carry off half back to Sandrick leading the charge. Back to the middle. Ball bounces over Pearce. Hilda was in there. Demons will go inside 50 once more. Lefebvre keeps it on the deck. Flicked over the top. Back to Lefebvre. Great hands, and he's put it wide. Don't even trouble the scorers. There's some nice work from Finlay Poke with the little handball. Lefebvre normally so crafty around goals. Didn't have his shooting boots on there, but probably a better result than the behind. They'll get the 4:50 stoppage. McCulloch will take the ruck contest, as he often does inside 4:50. This is an area where Clarence really got a hold of him in those stoppages last week. Lee palms it towards the boundary. Now play once more. The better of the early ruck contest is big Alex Lee, continuing his fine form. Pretty dominant in the opening 10 minutes here. His side 4 points to the good. That's the Demons on the attack here, looking to claim the lead. McCulloch thumps it down. Picked a handball across Lee. And they'll work it out of defence. Great mark taken, Mitchell Nicholas. Under pressure there from Tilbury. Showed a good pair of hands. He'll drive them to centre wing. Jackson backing back, floats over everyone's head off the chest of Campbell. Now Ahern galloping away with it. It's a wide open 50 in front of him. He sends it. How will it bounce? Very well if you're a Bombers fan. Jack Ahern from distance. Despairingly, the defender trying to get back, but it was one of those bounces where it picked up speed. And it is the second of the afternoon for the Bombers. They're 2-5-7-8. They extend their lead. And just a thumping long drive there from Jack Ahern. Saw the space. Knew he just needed to pitch and run it. And he did it very nicely. So a 10-point break for the Bombers here. Spencer White back into the ruck for the D's. Down him into the middle. So Lee comes over the top, on it down, but straight to Bingham. Bingham turning, doesn't like what he saw. Handled back to White. He's put down him under some pressure, but he's got his kick away quite nicely to half forward. Lefebvre just out pointed there by Kerr, late in, and he sends a bit of a risky kick in the Simpson direction. Demons force the turnover, back to Finlay Pogue, slams it on the boot. How will this one bounce? It also picked up speed, but didn't have the accuracy. Wide of the mark, their second score of the afternoon. Margin back to 9. Short little kick to Fletcher Bennett. We'll send them wide. Chug out of defence. Spill came from behind from Barrow, but the Bombers keep the ball moving forwards. And now screaming for it inside 50 is Pearce. McGuinness tracking back. Pearce used his body really well. He's out the back. He volleys it and misses. Gee, I reckon he had time to gather that one and get it on the boot rather than go for the volley there, Pearce. So 2-5. Probably should be slightly further ahead here at the Bombers, the way they're playing at the moment. McGuinness clearing kick. Man, Shandon couldn't quite gather. White, he flicks it across. Under pressure there, was down and got his handball away. They keep the ball in motion to Lefebvre. He sends it up and under to half forward. Poke just pushes his man straight underneath the ball, gets away with it somehow. And instead, White will try and drive the Demons forward. Clever kick to Roberts in a bit of space. He's got time to pick a target, and he's got targets everywhere. In the end, he settles for Hilda. So Hilda. The easiest kick this one. A kick from right about the paint of 50. Good idea of the wind off this one. Since it might just be favouring the Bombers slightly. It's working back, bending back majestically, and he loves it, Josh Hilder. He gives the fist bump to the crowd. They'll get the Demons up and about. They've got their second of the afternoon. 2-1-13. They cut the margin to 4 points. Well, I said they need to take their chances, and they're doing that early here, the Demons. A fine kick, that one. Works it back beautifully on the breeze. 4-point ball game at North Hobart. Entertaining start to this contest. Has been a real tempo about the game. Well, I think that's the Barrow Downham is currently being carried off by the trainers for the Demons, so that's a concern. There might be a player down here shortly, the D's. Unable to put weight on his leg there, so that is a concern. Very slowly being carried off here. He's kind of down him. I'd have to say unlikely to return based on the speed of which he's being escorted off the ground and the pained expression on his face. Yeah, it's going to be a concern. So the D's might be a player down as Simpson gets first to this ball. Gets his handball away just. Also got taken high. Advantage paid. Driven inside the 450. It's going to be brought back though. Brought back the initial over the shoulder there. So Simpson from the bullseye. Ignored. Pitt presenting short. Goes further in the Ives direction. Good mark there from the big man. Theo Ives using his height. Extending the jukes and taking a contested mark there. So we'll look to extend the lead back to 10 points here for the Bombers. White getting back on the goal line. Yes, his height is required. Fancy Ives to carry the distance, but we'll see how he fares. A kick from just inside the paint of 50. Ives sends it on its way. Looks good off the boot. And it is straight through the middle from Theo Ives. That's a lovely kick, and they have their third. Back out to a 10-point lead, the Bombers. Lovely left footer there from Theo Ives. Their lead is 10 points here in the first term. It's been a pretty open game so far. Last week, it's when the Demons and Clarence very stoppage heavy. Very stagnant type game. This one was a much smaller ground, so it's easier to get it from one end to the other, but we played with a much more furious tempo than we saw a week ago. the intent clear from both sides to get the ball moving quickly. So White and Lee resume their duel. Lee again comes over the top. That's going nowhere. Norton lays the tackle. As did Bingham. Lee palms it down. Trying to get out of there is Tilbury. And going nowhere. Wrestling match there. Lee in the Simpson direction through the legs there of Nicholas. Worked forward. Hilda should be able to get there. He's in that tackle. Did well not to get in the back in the end. Demons will take the ball away. They'll pump it deep inside 450. Lee Flang read that superbly. The moment it left the boot, he was off. He takes the intercept mark, chips it short to Fletcher Bennett. Bennett has Bales in a bit of space. That's where he heads. And Harry Bales at half back. Stagnant. That wasn't the best kick. Flipped over the top to Pitt. Handball back there to Mitchell. Mitchell back to Pitt. Now Harvey Griffiths on the wing. Bumping into him was White, but he got his kick away, and a good mark taken by Ahern. He scored one from here earlier. This time he just stops to set it up, puts it to his forward's advantage brilliantly. Norton, well, he did all he could, but ultimately the position he was in, the free kick was always likely going to be going against him, and it will go the way of Mansell. Tough one there. It was a really intelligent kick from Ahern. Put it there to the fat side of the ground. Norton didn't really have the height or reach. Tried his best to turn and not concede, but couldn't prevent it. So Mansell to extend the Northern Bombers lead here. Umpire doing some work, and he's missed. So 3-6 the Bombers. We lead this one by 11 points as we tip towards red time in quarter number 1. Sandrick short. Bradley Young in the back pocket. A hand to Sandrick over the top to Jackson. Jackson gets it on the boot. It's a swirling up and under. It's nicely marked by Cohen Stephenson. Stephenson wants to move it quickly. Didn't see anything he immediately liked though. Will drive it out the back now. There is no one defensive 50 behind them, so if it spills out, it'll be interesting. Went the way the Bombers though. And Simpson with a wonderful handball over the top to Sulzberger. Oh, they made a bit of a mess of that though in the end. Norton on hands and knees scrapping in. There to Zach Barrow. Lee palms it down. Simpson gathers. Handball was a good one. Teammate under pressure. McLeod applying the pressure, but composed there was Hubbard. Got his kick forward. Stephenson tried the spoil from behind, but Cox Goodyear too strong in the air. Good hands, and he's off. Cleverly plays on. Bradley Cox Goodyear sets sail for home. It's just holding up in the wind. Mark not quite taken in there. It was Mansell coming in, couldn't quite gather it. The umpire will have it in the goal square. It's Goodyear alert there. So probably didn't have the distance played on. Shrewdly, Ives up against Jackson. One down, kick over the head. Won't trouble the scorers. Will be in the pocket. In the end, two North Hobart players compete against each other. There's Barrow and Jackson spoiling each other there. Well, there was a slight jumper clash out there, so perhaps that has something to do with it. Umpire will tumble it back into play once more. Ives up against Jackson. Neither decisively. Shut out. Back. Handball into Cox Goodyear. Over the shoulder's been killed. It'll go the way of the Demons. So they should be able to clear the area here. Sam Wright chips it into the back pocket to Jackson. Might limit their options on their next kick though. It wasn't a great one. Ball into dispute, and the Bombers will come away with it. Handball back across there. Simpson at the top of 50, slams it on the boot. Won't quite have the journey. Big man fly, and in the end, the relieving mark is taken by Jackson. They've been a little hesitant coming off half back today, the D's, as this one just hangs in the air. Leafhever spoils Lee from behind. Norton first to the fall of it, got a handball away just in time to McLeod. McLeod wants to execute the switch. He does so to White. Bingham's on over the top now. Cox Goodyear off in pursuit of him. Bingham, now where's he head? Just has to hold up because he doesn't have an immediate option ahead of him. Now he'll go in the McCulloch direction. Sends it in there, but dropping back into the space in front of him was Kerr, and it was one he was made to earn. They're doing a good job marshalling McCulloch so far. And Kerr dropping back into the space to give the chop out to Leaflang, who's doing a fine job so far. All running into trouble. Leafever got him, just got the handball away in time. Leaflang sends it further afield, finds Pitt. Pitt keeps it moving over the top now. Wide open forward 50, sends it deep. That's a great pair of hands there. The mark taken by Ahern. Had a 2-on-1, and he won it decisively. So we know he's got the distance. Ridley with the aid of a bounce, but he kicked one from 65 already today, just about Jack Ahern. The distance should not be a problem. Jack Ahern. He's side out by 17 points here in the first quarter. Sends it on its way. Looks good off the boot. Has the journey. No trouble. He's a lovely kick of the football, Jack Ahern. And he has 2 already today. The Bombers by 17 points. Starting to convert the play, control the play onto the scoreboard a little bit more in the last few minutes. And here's a lovely set shot kick, Jack Ahern. Just a beautiful technique. And just steered it through. So, Demons in need of a response here as we tick past 24 minutes in quarter number 1. 2-1 plays 4-6. So back up. Jackson did well, but he hit it straight to a Bombers player. He sweeps this kick across to Nicholas. Nicholas sends it on over the top. We're working hard with Hubbard. Hubbard chips one short. Sulzberger, he now drives them deep inside 50. Got marking targets seemingly everywhere, but Campbell ended up with the ball in his breadbasket. Handball to White. He quickly got it back to McGuinness. He's run down by Pearce. Play on. Now the chance for the Bombers from the pocket. Swinging at Goldwood and just missing. So 4-7-31. Hasn't been the tidiest work off half back today from the D's. They go in the Sandrick direction here. He takes the mark. He's been trying to get the handball game going and the lick up from those situations. But this time he's just going to chip one short. Finds Norton. Cassie Norton, unfortunately for him, his teammate stumbled, floated over his head. Now hitting the ball with speed is Bales. He handballed it over the top to Pitt, but he's claimed in a strong tackle. Jackson and Ives. Tackles Tilbury. Pitt going nowhere. Ives takes front position, wins it down. Crashing through McLeod. McGuinness gets to it. Back in dispute, umpire spots the grab of the jumper there. Free kick to the Demons. That way McGuinness. So Tyler McGuinness. It's a lovely kick of the football. He sends this one long, and doing well was White. He's got plenty of options forward of 50 here. He went to McCulloch at a 2-on-1. Probably should have pulled the kick to Poke in the end. The two without, they see it across the line. You can see the Bombers putting a lot of time and effort into Jack McCulloch here, trying to double team him at every opportunity. Perhaps that was just one where the eyes needed to be lowered. Trying to find the spare man Poke instead. Can't blame him for a little McCulloch conscious, especially after last week. He got on a masterclass. He'll ruck here. Just double palmed it down. He fed up. McCulloch, they scrap away at ground level. Eventually the umpire calls for it. McCulloch and Lee. Lee won it down, poke crashing through, but the Bombers will take it round the outer side. Fletcher Bennett happy to walk it across the line. In the shadows of quarter time here at North Hobart Oval. 18-point lead to the visitors, who've picked up right where they left off over the past couple of weeks. And scintillating form coming into the game, and then pretty sharp early on. Jackson handballs over the top looking for Bingham. Thrown back in once more, will it? So Lee and Jackson. Body work from Lee. Simpson lays a tackle. And they'll know it. Lee takes it out, but it was well charged down by White. Tumbled along the deck in the poke direction, but ball's out of play. Demons would love to snag one late on here just to keep within touching distance at quarter time. And outplayed for the most part here in quarter number one by the Northerners. Lee pushed on and then they'll clear the area up towards the middle of the ground. McGuinness floats across, couldn't complete the mark though. The spoil came, it was nicely done by Young. McGuinness goes again, takes it away and sweeps the handball across, and they might be out here, the Demons. That's a poor kick in the half-forward direction though, and Simpson was poised there. Handball over the top to Sulzberger, back to Lee. He goes across there to Mansell. He's turned it over to McGuinness. McGuinness tried to take the man on. He find the safety of the boundary line in time. He just did, and that's sparked a little bit of afters. Demons players not overly happy with the treatment of McGuinness there. Back into play once more. Lee palms at boundary side. Pink there ahead of Norton, but the boundary line beats both of them. Jackson takes front position, takes the ball, can get his kick away. Pitt in the Griffiths direction, but there was Sandrick. He ran straight into the opposition though. And that will be quarter time here at North Hobart Oval. So an 18-point lead after an entertaining first term here. It's the Northern Bombers 4-7-31, leading North Hobart 2-1-13. A 3-goal lead, you'd have to say pretty good value for that lead. The Bombers maybe even be further ahead if they had taken their chances a little better. The Demons going to need to start winning a little bit more of the ball around the contest if they're going to get back into this one. But 3 quarters left to play, plenty of time for things to change here. But after quarter number one, it's the Bombers looking the goods. They lead this one 4-7-31. It's Hobart 2-1-13. We'll be back in a few minutes' time with quarter number two. So welcome back to the action here at North Hobart Oval. Andrew Cooley calling the action for you here on the TSL live stream. And it is the Northern Bombers who've started fast here for 7:31, leading North Hobart 2-1-13. Turn to begin the second term. And the home side turn things around here in the second. And the Bombers continue to have the game on their terms. And ready to go here. Round 7 action in the TSL. Lee immediately palms that one down. Simpson winning the tackle. And on the grounds, it's an 18-13 lead for the Tigers over Clarence in their top of the table battle. The Twin Ovals. Launceston dismantling Magpies at the moment, 79-7 at half time. Free kick will go the way of Alex Lee. He wants to take it quickly, gave the handball off, and they'll drive it deep inside, forward 50. Ives couldn't complete the mark. Ahern first to the spill. Oh, lovely work, but his handball was well blocked off by Young. Did well just to prevent that one. Saved a goal there, I reckon, Bradley Young. Jack Ahern just moving so well through traffic there. He started this game red hot. Jackson and Ives. Cox Goodyear angling the body in. He's brought down. today for the Bombers, but no shortage of attacking threat in that forward 50 all the same. It's Pearce takes this one across the line. Jackson takes it away, slams it on the boot. Floats out the back. Bennett first to it. He handballs over the top. Chug did well under pressure from Lefebvre. Directed along the outer wing. One way, then the other. And charge inside 50 once more. Jackson has his name written all over this. He swallows it up. Behind the ball at the moment, big Nick Jackson. He'll go for distance. In Spencer White direction. Lee thumps it away from him. Just away from Manchanda and out of play. Back into the middle. Turning is Simpson, slamming it on the boot, driving it along. Jackson across once more, spoiled, but fell out the back for a Hearn. Paid the advantage, and he drives it through from point blank range. And cops a bit of treatment afterwards. And that might spark a furious response, but the end result will remain the same. A goal for the Northern Bombers. They kick away to a 24-point lead. Jack Ahern has his third, and he's looming large indeed here at North Hobart Oval. Demons need to find a way to put the clamps on him, although that one just a little Joe the Goose. And the Bombers playing some good football here. Playing some good football this season. Well, they're sitting third. Clarence would lose today, could jump up into second. Guy presses it down. Lee slaps it over the top. That was beautifully done. Pearce runs onto it, drives them inside 50. Can Ives complete it? Not quite. Cox Goodyear handball across, slammed on the boot, just blocked away. Ives almost with the goal. And Roberts turns boundary side. His handball blocked off. The snap from the pocket is across the face. And the Demons will try and clear through McGuinness. He drives them along. Just over the head, though, of Hilda, who just toes it off the ground. In dispute. Went through the traffic there was right. Lee Flang. He sends it across and they'll clear the area through Simpson. Simpson drives from the half forward. Had a man in acres of space down there. And he'll send them with a bullet inside 50. A bullet straight to the opposition, though. Picks off in there by Downham. The Monks, so. Downham, of course, out of this game, I suspect. I haven't seen him on the bench since he limped off with an ankle issue in quarter number one. It was carried off, more accurately. Two trainers calling him off, so I think Demons probably down to three on the bench here. Down one player for the rest of the afternoon. White. Jackson slaps it out of there. Lefebvre just worked under the ball there by Mitchell. And out for a throw in. So the lights go on here at North Hobart Oval, which is quite necessary. As I said, it was an overcast day, and it's only got more and more overcast as we go on. Some threatening clouds looming. Jackson flicks the handball out behind. Through the traffic there. Now play once more. White slamming on the boot there. So Jackson beaten by Lee. White scooped it up. Bill back to Lee, slams it on the boot. Backing back with courage was Barrow. Bombers will go forwards once more, though. It's a one-on-one here. Ahern. Oh, slapped away from him. Decisive defensive fist from Campbell. He's going to need to get to this contest, though, and hold him up, or they'll have an outnumber out the back. Spinning away with it, Avent. Oh, Bingham got a hand in there. Simpson, Avent again. Wright got a hold of him. They've done well to hold them up. Over the shoulder of the goal, which will infuriate the Demons faithful who are calling for holding the ball. quickly taken there, shifted out by Nicholas. We'll go back to Nicholas. Nicholas flicks the handball over the top. Good spoil coming in there from Zach Barrow. A couple of good 1%ers from him there in the last couple of minutes. I feel like he's body on the line, trying to get his side back into the contest, but at the moment it is all the Bombers and all the attacking in this game and out by 4 goals. Lee thumps it boundary side. Pearce gets there first, couldn't gather it. Norton escorting him in across the line. Jackson and Lee. Lee thumps it back into the corridor. There's going to be a free kick paid there for a jumper grab. And we'll go the way of the Demons. We'll go the way of young Zach Barrow. Roberts on short. That's ignored. Instead, he might go down the line. He does. He'll drive it to a contest. McCulloch presenting up at it. Will bounce, though, in favour of Bales. Into the middle. Good handball from Sulzberger. A little too much of it in the end. Invites Liefheber in. He's got a hold of Chug. He's going absolutely nowhere. Untidy there from the Bombers. And opportunity here for the Demons to get something going in the second term. Anything dangerous looks inside forward 50 yet. Lee spikes it back over his head. Norton flicks the handball back into White. His handball back to McGuinness. Slaps it on the boot inside forward 50. Working his way to the front was White, but parked in front was Lee Flang. In the end, it spills out the back there for Hilda, who tumbles it through for a goal. So the Demons get their third of the afternoon. Ash Hilda saw the ball spill his way out of the contest. Roved it nicely. Sent it through, so their third of the afternoon. Still, the Bombers firmly in the ascendancy, but a badly needed goal, that for the Demons. And at least they are taking their chances to keep the margin manageable. General play, they've been convincingly outdone, but 3 goals won, and they haven't really been prime looks on goal. You'd have to say they've done well to end up with 3 goals from the scoring shots they've had. So back to 18 points. Lee comes on over the top once more. Sandrick's been moved on ball. Norton handballs across to Barrow. Something a little short. Barrow tried to take on Sulzberger. Had to get a kick away. Just got something on it in time. Harvey Griffiths gets a hand in there. Norton a little too casual and he's run down, but it was over the shoulder from Simpson. It had to be over the shoulder of a ball. Umpire making a good call there though. Barrow starting to get busy. Wheels away. His kick might just work out. Running onto it, Roberts. He shapes to shoot to goal and he's mown down. Bombers take possession of the ball. They'll try and bounce off halfback. White applying the pressure. The kick just found Pitt in the middle of the ground. He wants to use Simpson. Draws the mark and then sends it there. Then they drive it inside forward 50. Great fast ball movement. Ahern again. The speed of ball movement making life very tough for the Demons back 6 there. Simpson offering the handball option, got it in there, and this man is running red hot. Jack Ahern. He's kicked 3. This will be for his 4th. We're only 10 minutes into the second quarter. And Jack Ahern is a lovely kick of the football. Oh, drives into the post. Just didn't quite bend back like a couple of the shots we saw in the first half, first quarter that worked their way back. That one straight as an arrow and straight into the post. So he doesn't get his 4th. The margin is 19 points. McGuinness once again just blasted on out of there. Off hands, Cox Goodyear and White will see it across the line. Yes, down on the boundary. See Connor Downham still really unable to put any weight on his foot there, so the Demons definitely down a player on the bench. White, Sandrick, you gather it. Charging through Sulzberger, slamming on the boot. Good mark under pressure there from McGuinness. McGuinness over the top to Hilda. Wants to get it moving, but he's forced backwards here by Harvey Griffiths and just punches one up in the McCulloch direction. Beautifully done once again by Leaflang, taking the honours in that duel so far as Leaflang. Bales deep in defence, and that's going to work out all right. Judged the kick nicely in the end. And then they go back centrally. That's a risky option. Invited danger. The Demons pounce. Slammed on the boot by Bingham. He couldn't direct his shot. They're the type of chances you feel the Demons need to be taking if they're going to cause the upset here. Every half chance so important to them. Certainly being outchanced early on here. Leaflang presents a lead. He'll go over his head and go in the Nicholas direction, but the tall timber was there for the Demons, and McCulloch takes the mark. They need to get this man busy. He's a real star in that forward line. He'll stand this one up, tries to give an option there for Jackson. Fell to Lefebvre, but in the end, he didn't catch it as he would have liked. Mitchell escorts it across. Mitchell wants to play on quickly out of defence, and he will do so. Fletcher Bennett is there, as is Bales. Bales takes it and then gives it to Bennett. Bennett handballs over the top looking for Lee. Lee did well. Returned it to Bennett. They charged through the middle by hand. Hubbard just flicked it on over the top. Worked out all right. He had two players there. One of them there was Avent. Worked it wide. They drive it in the Cox Goodyear direction. He takes it tight to the line. And Lee's being offered, and wow, that's a great kick there. Finds Connor Young charging out. A searing lead there. Hit that with speed, and Cox Goodyear just put it where only he could access it. Can't defend that situation. Nothing the defenders can do there when it's put out in front of a lead like that. So Connor Young will kick around about 45. He's pulled his kick across the face. The mark's been taken by Griffiths. Just one where the D's needed to punch that one through, couldn't do so. And Griffiths will open up the angle, plays on lazily around the corner and just puts it into the post. Perhaps a bit too casual, Harvey Griffiths. McGuinness not going to take the kick out on this occasion, had been taking them. Instead they'll chip short to Zach Barrow. He's one of his side's better players this quarter. Well, I'm not sure it's his intended target, but in the end he finds Sam Wright. Bit of a shank. Works out all right. Wright sends it towards centre wing. McCulloch and Leaflang. Also there, White drifts across, takes the mark. Wide open in front of him, but he's just going to hold up. Wait for a few more options. The bodies flood forward now. He sends it down the line. Spurl came from Sulzberger. And then Simpson taken over. White up against Ives. Keeps it in front of himself. Still going White. Norton now charging through. Couldn't gather it. Pearce. He's claimed by Lefebvre, but he got him high. The free kick will go the way of Pearce at half back. Lefebvre does his best just hold him up there and get his team to structure up. Chugg was outstanding against Lauderdale a couple of weeks ago, Declan Chugg. A fine game. Gets himself into a little bit of trouble here, though. Hasn't done any favours by the return handball. The Demons will force a stoppage. $18 points, the Bombers lead. Midway point of quarter number 2. Scrap away for it. Pearce fired out a handball. Lefebvre charging that one down. Desperately diving on. Realised he dived on top of it, so just pushed it out in front. We'll have it once more. In the ball, just trapped half forward for the D's. Ives up against Jackson. Ives works his way to the front, one it down, couldn't quite find Pitt. Norton ducks underneath the tackle, then slaps it on the boot. Awkward bounce, Leaflang dealt with it pretty well. Still going Leaflang, ball in dispute. They burrow in after it, and they'll call for it. He's done a good job taking front position against McCulloch today, as Leaflang. I'm really impressed with the way he's defended the danger man so far today. Ives wins it down. Says I'll have it. Moment here. He's could this next one. Cut the margin back to 2 goals. He's still hanging about. This one's kicked in there. Is that 15? No, it's not. So Norton drives Simpson into the turf. Down. And then Shandon gathers, handballs down the line, trying to find Pearce. Was he infringed there by Norton? Yeah, he was. Free kick will go the way of Pearce. He immediately fires off the switch to Bennett, because Bennett has Leaflang. They have the numbers on this side. Nicely manoeuvred here by the Bombers. Lockie Mitchell. It's a slightly riskier kick, and just drifting back into the space was Tilbury. He'll want to get this moving quickly. He'll drive them deep. McCulloch couldn't quite bring it down. Out the back, gathered by Mitchell. Mitchell chips one just out in front of man Shandon. And Shandon gathered, then Leafhammer took him down. Across the line for a throw in. They had a 2-on-1. That was really well done by Thomas Leafhammer. Important contest to win. Prevent the Bombers springboarding back out the other way. White and Ives. Ives won it down to the front spot. Cox Goodyear couldn't gather. Across the line it goes. So, been a pretty open game for the most part, but just the last 5 minutes or so been very stoppage heavy. Arm wrestle starting to develop after a furiously paced opening to this game. Real end-to-end affair. Just starting to become more of a grind here as the game progresses. If the rain hits, it might become even more so. Tilbury out spring free. Ives down. Slung there on the tackle. Back to Ives. Additional handball to Manshannon, who shot through a clever one to Cox Goodyear. He'll drive them forward. How will it bounce? Harvey Griffiths kept his feet. Can he gather it? Getting back there in support with Stephenson. Inside to Cox Goodyear. Will want to get onto his left. He winds around and sets sail for home. Cox Goodyear. He's got it. What a classy player this man is. And he extends the lead back out to 24 points. Wheeled round onto the left and just about had the journey. Campbell working back on the line. Couldn't quite prevent it. He had just enough distance. And the Bombers, that one will sting the Demons that had a good few minutes up there into the ground. Plenty of stoppages trying to force a goal, but they didn't yield. They held firm, did the Bombers, and they springboard back the other way with speed. And extend this one back out to 24 points as we tick into red time in quarter number 2. Knocked down, Simpson shrugged the tackle of McLeod. Steadied and sent it across in the Avon direction. Did him no favours with the kick. Roberts first to the ball. Paddle it back inside. Straight to Cox Goodyear though. And the Bombers will take over at half forward. They'll shink inside. Jackson should be favoured by this. Set up and Jackson takes the relieving mark. He'll quickly move it across to Norton. Sandrick, his next option. A short little kick finds him. Fired out the handball. A little too sharp for Norton. Then in came Ahern. Handball to Simpson. Simpson through traffic, steadies himself, sets it up to the teeth of goal. And a good mark taken back there by Campbell. Sweeps the handball to Monks. Monks from half back will drive them to Roberts. Defensive side of the wing, Jordan Roberts. He's got McLeod inside, that's ignored. Runs a few metres and then drives them to half forward, floats out the back. Hubbard will be first to it. Handball back in there to Kerr. And they do well, and they clear defensive 50. McLeod. Oh, sent his man off the other direction, then chipped inside to Bingham. Bingham to Norton. Norton will ignore Sandrick and go in the white direction. That invited in Simpson. Simpson read it superbly, got a fist in. Norton coming through. Flicked it onto Liefhebber. He's gathered again by Simpson, who's had a great 20 seconds there. Read the intent of the kick right, broke up an attack and then forces the stoppage. Simpson of the Sam variety. Lee won it down. McGuinness lays the bump and gathers the ball, flicked it back to Sandrick, slammed it on the boot. Simpson again doing the grunt work. And he just bit off a bit more than he could chew and got run down by Hilda. Sandrick, he gathers, got it to Liefhebber and a fumble. Sandrick tries to crash on through and just bounces off of Kerr. Simpson, it's hot in the kitchen at the moment. And the umpire pays holding the ball. Hilda rewarded. He'll take a good kick from here. He's got one already, Josh Hilda. Might be just beyond him though, so he stands it up into the pocket. It was the wrong option. Declan Chugg was dropping back into the space. He wanted McCulloch, but the kick just simply wasn't on. Bales clears defensive 50. Nicholas is on over the top here for Fletcher Bennett, and he hands it off to him. Nicholas about to get run down by Bingham. Just got his kick away, but it impacted it. Oh, then fumbling one he should have had was Young. White, handball back inside there, and Monks composed, sends it wide, and flicked on over the top for Tilbury. Tilbury's got Gussie Norton on now. Norton jinks inside, gave it to Bingham, needs to get rid of it, just got it away to Norton. Norton's kick was run down, ball in disputed half forward, handball on over the top, Sandrick with a fist in there. But the Bombers will take it away through Hubbard. He just slaps it on the boot. Anywhere will do. Well, into the chest of Cox Goodyear it was, who jumps over the fence. Been paid the mark though. And he keeps it moving because Pearce was all on his own at half forward. Dangerous man to leave on his own, Nathan Pearce. He's got Harvey Griffiths making a lead. Doesn't go there. The Demons get some numbers back here. He'll have to kick to a contest instead. Stands it up. Jackson should be able to pick this one off. I thought for a moment his teammate Barrow was going to get in his way, but the talk came just in time. Jackson relieving mark, then sends it up in the white direction. Couldn't keep a hold of it. Bombers pick it back up, slap it on over the top. Man Shandon has it. 60 from home. He'll just stand one up. Wasn't a great kick, but the chaos might work all right from the hand to Harvey Griffiths, who drives through another one for the Bombers. They have their seventh. They're out by 5 goals. It's 51 plays 21. Harvey Griffiths getting in on the scoring act in these last few minutes. And a real killer for the Demons, just when it seemed like they are working their way back into the contest. The Bombers have gone bang bang, kicked a couple in a row, and they're up by 5 goals in the shadows of half time. So back to the middle. Demons could badly use a goal here before half time just to keep themselves in touching distance. Alex Lee got down. Simpson handballed to man Shandon. Always elusive. His handball straight to White though. Lee applied the pressure, won it back. Simpson sends it wide as a marking target there in Mansell. Oscar Mansell will just send them deep inside 450 and let the big men fly. A Hearns spoiled Jackson. And stoppage is forced. And down, slapped on the boot by Barrow. Towards the boundary, White just prods it forward. Pretty well, forces out of play. As around the grounds, it's Kingborough leading Clarence 31 to, I think it's 26. Looks like Clarence should just kick the goal there. So 5 points in the margin, the Twin Ovals. 102 points in the margin up in the north. Launceston running rampant over Glenorchy, 119 to 17. So back into the forward 50. Cox Goodyear couldn't quite collect. Back on the ground, Ives from the pocket. Pearce, this would be a miraculous goal, but he didn't quite direct it. 7-10, plays 3-3. Norton carrying out a defence, just pokes one short for Sandrick. Driven out of there by Jack Sandrick. Lee with a towering mark, and he sends it forward once more. Goes looking for Ives. Just outpointed by Campbell, though, and now he's got some space to dash off half-back. Can draw a man and work the handball over the top. But they've got nothing on further down the wing, so he just has to go back and set a high ball up. Griffiths comes in. He was made to earn it, but stood strong. Fight off a handball to Pitt. Pitt found Pearce over the top. There's Cox Goodyear. He's under pressure from Campbell, who deals with him well after he got rid of the ball. That was bizarre. Just gives a free kick to him. Not really sure what he was thinking. Maybe he wasn't aware that he got rid of the ball, but he carried on long after it had gone. And a free kick will go the way of North Launceston. So Bradley Cox Goodyear would extend the lead to 37 points just before half-time. A pretty decisive break. He wheels around, floats across the face, and the siren sounds. So that'll be half-time here at North Hobart Oval. And it's the home side in all sorts of trouble. The Bombers well on top of this game. They lead by 31 points. It's 3-3-21, plays 7-10-52. Only the inaccuracy of the Bombers has kept this one. 5 goals can be considered manageable. It could be a lot more. Firmly on top. There was 10 minutes in the midst of that second quarter where the Demons seemed to be working their way back into the contest, but in red time there, the Bombers put the pedal to the metal and have a pretty decisive break at halftime. So, halftime here at North Hobart Oval. It's the Northern Bombers firmly in the ascendancy. They lead by 31 points. We'll be back in around about 15 minutes' time with the second half here and see if the home side can turn things around. As it stands, it is the Bombers in complete command. They lead by 31 at halftime at North Hobart Oval. Welcome back for the second half here at North Hobart Oval. Round 7 TSL action for you. It is North Hobart 3-3-21. In trouble here against North Launceston 7-10-52. Down to 2 on the bench, concerningly. North Hobart. Colin Daly limped off early in that one. Haven't called his name. That's why he's been out of the action since early on, so he's out. And saw an injury as well for Downham, so just the 2 rotations for the Demons as they try and get back into this contest. Wide up against Lee in the ruck. Card coming through there was Simpson. Smashed it on the boot. Comes an inside 50. Ives tried to work his man underneath it. Griffith slapped at it. Went nowhere. Norton grabs it and is immediately claimed by 2 Bombers. And there'll be a ball up. White gets the better of Lee. Lefebvre through the stoppage. Floating ball towards McCulloch. Sandrick gathered. Flung a handball, but he couldn't find Barrow. McGuinness gave it back to Barrow, who steers it wide over the head of Hilda. Bales just paddling it away. Knocked it back to Simpson. They'll work it across here through Hubbard. And finds a mark at half-back in Sulzberger. He steers one up in the middle of the ground. Mark taken by Lee Flang. Just held on under pressure. Fine first half, Connor Lee Flang. The big assignment on Jack McCulloch. That not a great kick though for Chug, but plenty of numbers on that side of the ground. Chug receives the handball. Drives them along the outer wing. Bit of a scrappy kick. Griffiths tries to gather. Couldn't quite do so. But they turn away with it. And they've got a man all on his own in Young at half forwards. Young probably just too far out to score, but he gives it a ride to the top of the goal square. Ives took front position and took the mark. Theo Ives. And he can get the Bombers off to the perfect start in quarter number 3 here. Extend the lead to 37 points. So Ives, pretty straightforward kick this one. Kick from 20 out directly in front. And steers it straight through, so they get the first goal here in the third quarter and kick away to a 37-point lead. It's all looking very promising for the Northern Bombers. The Demons have got some work to do here. This could get ugly. So they've flipped the magnets around a little bit. Jack Sandrick has moved forward. Tommy Lefebvre on the ball. McGuinness on the ball as well. So they've definitely changed some things around, the Demons, as they had to. I'll be hoping that new mix can work their way back into the contest. But first blood in the third term goes the way of the Bombers. Lee comes over the top. Lefebvre couldn't gather it. Lee flicked the handball out and turning away was Sulzberger. Gave it to Pitt. Not back there, but getting in the way was McGuinness. Charging through there, Mansell. That'll be held up on the wing. Lee over the top of White, Pitt, and Sulzberger sees it over. Lee just gets rid of White and drives them inside forward 50. It's a good relieving mark taken though by Campbell. Immediately released it. It wasn't a good handball, but Norton made it work. But they've turned it over though. Handball back, just missed Tox Goodyear. He was trying to escape. Lefebvre claim from behind. Here's the dangerous Ahern. He's already kicked 3. He steers it on. Deep kick looking for Young, couldn't quite find it. Campbell does well, spinning through traffic, got the handball away. White on the deck. Ives, Griffiths, certain goal coming up here, is it? It is. It's Harvey Griffiths, and it's horribly messy at the back from the Demons. And it's 43 points the margin. They are sailing out of sight here, the visitors. The Demons down to 2 on the bench. It's starting to look a little ominous here. There's other dark clouds overhead, but rain holding off for the time being. It's very dark. The lights on and very much required here at North Hobart at the moment. So, 43 points. Sandrick into the middle now for the Demons. They need to start getting their hands on the ball at the contest a little more. Lee having a fine day in ruck, and he wins this one down. Follows up his work. Free kick's going to go the way of Sandrick, though. Jack Sandrick in the middle of North Hobart Oval. Wheels off to his right and sends them inside forward 50. A go looking for McCulloch. He had 2 to beat. It fell out the back for Jackson. Got ball on boot, and Finlay Poke charging through. Takes the mark. He's off though. Has to give it to McCulloch. McCulloch shifts it across. Can he find McLeod? Maybe Barrow actually, who takes the mark. And will go back and try and cut the margin. Zach Barrow in dire need of a goal here are the Demons. Kick the last 5 of the Northern Bombers. They need to break that streak here. Zach Barrow probably been one of his side's better players this afternoon. He'll go with the left. Hang it out to the right and miss. 42 points. The margin now. Risky kick that. Jackson applying the pressure. Fletcher Bennett comes in and gathers. He fired a handball out. McLeod, Simpson through traffic, was composed, and then Bennett's taken across the line. So the Demons bringing some good pressure there as Bombers just trying to walk it out. Lee and Jackson to contest it inside forward 50. Jackson didn't win it decisively. Just running over the top of it in the end was Simpson. Throwing deep inside the forward 50. Demons need something to show for this little period on the attack. Have to find a goal here. The ruckman can claim it. Handball out to Griffiths. Didn't want to take possession, so just thumped a fist, and it worked quite nicely in the end. He found Mansell, and Mansell speared one to Sulzberger. He keeps it moving quickly in the middle to Pitt. They're off through the middle here. Griffiths. Well, they did well just to hold him up, though. Didn't have much forward to the ball. Tilbury with a good tackle. And Chug comes in over the top. Over the shoulder, though, from Chug. Free kick to North Hobart. They're trying to drag Chug off him here. Barrow will take his kick eventually. Sends them inside 450. McCulloch. Just in front from behind there by Leaflang. Who's certainly taking the honours in that duel so far. McCulloch will just stand it up in the Jackson direction, and he plucks it nicely, does the big man. Oh, no, free kick. Paid for a push. Chagrin, the home support, just when it seemed like they were going to catch a break. The push was spotted. And they won't get what would have been a certain goal. They're back in dispute. Forward. Umpire calls for it. He wins it down. Kick partially smothered. Cloud tackling. Spills out. The umpire had already called for it. Finlay Poke works his way off to be replaced by Wright. They're still running the user change pretty heavily, considering they've only got 2 on the bench at the moment. Dees. Leafeber drives his man over the line. And the ruckman win that one away. Leafeber find a handball back. White scoop one forward. White and Lee. White took front position. Umpire will say do it again. It's shallow. works his way to the front, palmed it. Heavy traffic, the pressure applied to Cloud. Lurch from stoppage to stoppage here. Early in the third term. The visitors firmly in control of this one. And a little blood rule has been spotted by the looks of things. So they'll just hold things up for the time being. Stoppage is just quick score update from the Twin Ovals, where Kimber are now out 50-20. Kicked away in quarter number 3 there. The ladder leaders. Lefebvre applying the brakes there. Applying the pressure well, but they're second to the football at the moment, the D's. Lee. Down, McGuinness. To Lee, Simpson, high up and under, that will drift out of bounds on the full, so these will take over on centre wing. Slightly further, that's where players judged it went out. So Alex Pearce back, and they'll go inside 50 once again here, the D's. Can they get something to show for it this time? Bennett came in with the spoil, he got hands to it. Did he? No, the mark's been paid. We'll go the way of Jackson. Denied a shot on goal minutes earlier. Jackson will now get his opportunity. And kick from around about 40 out. Inside in dire need of this one. He's hung it out to the right. It'll look like being a major, 3 for a minor score. The margin remains at 41 points. Just 5 or 6 minutes, they've had the ball trapped down this end of the ground, but they haven't got a goal to show for it. The game's played out to an extent. Launceston of them generally gone up the other end, gone bang bang, kicked a couple quickly as Griffiths really had the mark, but it'll be a free kick paid to Bradley Young. Wheels off immediately, sets it up, a sea of bodies deep in there. McCulloch will fly, the spoils came. Bales, his handball was interrupted, just smashed out of there by Simpson, and it turned into a pretty good kick. Sam Simpson couldn't quite gather, but he might keep it out in front of him. Body on the line, terrific stuff there from Young. And holding the ball has been paid there, so a free kick's going to go the way of Spencer White. As limping off is Sam Simpson. McCulloch will fly this one. He got to run and jump. He couldn't bring it down this time. Find out the handball into space, but there are only bombers there. All over the top from Bennett's picked off here. Over the head from Finlay Poke. Lefebvre was a bit late there, Tommy Lefebvre, and the Bombers don't like that. Meanwhile, plays continued on, and Pitt is storming through the middle of the ground. He sends them in the Ives direction, half forward. Ives takes the mark, wheels inside 50, sets sail for home. Theo Ives, not quite. There's still going on in the defensive 50. It was all kicking off back there. I think half the players didn't realise the ball was in motion, as this one's picked off. A little sloppy at the back, and Cox Goodyear intercepts. He can go back, extend it to 48 points, and move the ball with a real purpose. So they have the Bombers. And they've spent probably the last 5 or 6 minutes defending. The ball locked up one end of the ground. The Demons don't have a goal to show for it. Can Cox Goodyear go up the other end and brutally punish them for it? He can. He loved it as soon as it left the boot. Bradley Cox Goodyear, he has another. And the Bombers have a 48-point lead here at North Hobart Oval. As it is rather testy here at North Hobart Oval at the moment. Starting to boil over. Plenty of pushing and shoving going on inside the Demons forward 50. Getting a little bit chippy. As White has to rush back to the inside defensive 50 for the 6-6-6. Tempers fraying at North Hobart Oval, and the visitors are 8 goals ahead. White and Lee. Lee wins it down. Simpson running onto it. He's been superb today. Simpson has a bounce, and that might cost him. He's run down from behind by McLeod. He didn't have time to do that. McLeod got him. And Harry McLeod shifts it across. Young's going to have to sit underneath this one under pressure from Connie Young. And Bradley will work it down the wing. Pitches awkwardly. Hope ran past it, fell in the path of Barrow. Barrow launching from range. Doesn't have the journey. It doesn't matter because Jackson has the mark. Super stuff there from Zach Barrow. I reckon it might have carried through anyway, but Big Jackson, wanted to know, took the mark and just needs to be careful. He doesn't play on too early here. Clearly wants to open up the angle, but very close to the man on the mark. That's floated across. There is some contention here. The Bombers are certain he's missed. It looked to my eye to be a behind. But we're going to have a conference here between umpire and goal umpire. Jackson tried to claim the goal. I'm not sure if he was trying to sell the umpire. It looked to me like it drifted, but had it crossed the line before? No, it had not. So Jackson makes an utter mess of that one from 10 metres out and gives up a certain goal. And the Demons' frustrating afternoon continues. 47 points to the margin. And you can see what's going to happen. He was really close to the man on the mark when he was taking the shot. Just need to go back a few metres. Open up the angle even more. Anyway, 47 points to the margin. I reckon winning the inside 50 count fairly handily this quarter on North Hobart, but they've made no inroads. The lead's been further extended here by the Bombers. Hubbard handballs one across. Sandrick gets a hand in there. Socket forwards. Top of the goal. McCulloch was clean below his knees. Then he was claimed. Jackson just gets his kick away in time. And they'll tumble it out of defence, will the Bombers. Barrow just buffered it off it. Pressure from Bingham. Was there sufficient intent there? It's a little lucky for mine. Will be tossed into play. Jackson with the leap, but Lee with the hit out. Just ducking under a tackle there was Event. Running over it was Stephenson, and clean was Pearce. And he sends him in the Cox Goodyear direction. Couldn't quite complete the mark, but he got one over the shoulder. And he's injured himself in the process. He's going to want to, or was he just foxing? He might have been foxing the veteran. He launches from range, and it's just off target. Oh, well, he completely sold me on that. Sold the defender too. Well, maybe he's just so tough he's kicked with an injury because he's still proppy after the kick. I'm not sure. Either way, he smashed the kick from 55, just offline. 48 points to the margin. He's going to continue on. I think he's a little bit proppy. You see, he's put up short after that one too. So I think inevitably he's going to have to head to the bench. He stayed out there as Sandrick wheels across and switches this one, but kicks it straight in the Kerr direction. A 2-on-1. The numbers in support will favour the Demons, and a free kick's been paid for a hold. That might be 50 for delaying here. And it is. He can protest all he wants. He was blatantly trying to hold that ball up and delay giving it back. And the umpire, quite rightly, will pay 50 metres. Trying a little bit of dark art stuff there, just sitting on top of the ball. Umpire not fooled. An opportunity for a goal here for McGuinness, and he drives it through and gets a badly needed goal for North Hobart. Cuts the margin back to 42 points. And they certainly needed that one, did North Hobart. Plenty of play inside 450 this quarter for no return. And well, the 50-metre penalty gets them that goal. Their first of the third quarter. Bombers have kicked 4 and extended their lead beyond 7 goals. And rain continuing to threaten here. It's getting increasingly darker. Umpire says I'll go again. Lee thumps it over the top. Turning was right, got a handball out just in time. Tilbury tried, but Sulzberger picked it up. His kick was smothered. Pitt, he's going nowhere. 42 points now, the margin down at the Twin Ovals. The Tigers just looking untouchable at the top of the table at the moment. We timed that pretty well. Lays a tackle. Bingham got a handball. Can't clear the area. Tackle was laid from Pitt. Back inside forward 50 they go. Theo Ives with Campbell sticking with him and see it out of play. Forward pocket here for the Bombers. Ives and White. Pull out the back to Dom White. He slapped it on the boot. His kick floated, having a stand underneath it was Simpson. Norton now is looking for Liefheber. Spills out the back, but McCulloch gathers, left it for him and then sends it forward. It's 2 one-on-ones, but taking front position in both of them where the Bombers plays. Intercept mark is taken. Now Harvey Griffiths. A nice searching lead. Takes that, wheels off. What a danger with the kick, right got in there. Barrow released just in time. Charging through there, Sulzberger, rather Leaflang. Now they go deep inside forward 50. It's bouncing off hands. Thought there might have been a little push there on Campbell. He was certainly searching for it. Right, not having it, but through for a behind as that one's punched in the McGuinness direction. Oh dear. Sloppy stuff again, picked up by Sulzberger. He misses. Extends the lead to 44 points. 10 goals, 14. North Launceston could be even further ahead. They're taking their chances this afternoon. Long looking there for Monks. Takes the mark. Wanted to give the handball to Norton. Thought better of it, but he's off. Has to kick now, and the kick was not to the edge of Sandrick at all. Allowed in Kerr. Takes the intercept. And squares it up for Griffiths. McLeod coming in, put the body on the line. Sulzberger clever to Pitt. Pitt caught cold by McGuinness. Guy on the cold. Like I said, out in the tackle. So another stoppage. He was rewarded in the end, Norton. Chipped it short to Bingham. Didn't have anything light for the ball, so just retreats to Monks. They poke, looking at the wing to give him a target. They're very stagnant this though from the Demons. Eventually he'll kick to a contest and slapped away from White by Lee. And there've been few, if any, better on the ground than that man today, Alex Lee. Yes. It's Tilbury getting right up in his face. Lee was not going to be goaded into doing anything to give away a free kick. I'm surprised Tilbury didn't in the end. Nothing the retaliator that gets caught in those situations. Lee was not going to be suckered in. Uses his body here and then just lets it drop out the back. Charging through Tilbury, gave it to White under pressure. Tilbury goes in again. Needs to get rid of this. Umpire says I'll have it. I reckon a high one's going to be played against White there. And it is. Sulzberger takes the free kick and getting up at the ball is that man Cox Goodyear. Well, he wheel off to his left and have a shy here. Demons are awake to it. They've got a couple of men guarding that space. Cox Goodyear will take his best here. He'll kick from outside 50. He wheels onto the left. He gives it a right. It's going to hold up though. Spoil came from behind. Ahern. His handball. Campbell applying the pressure. A ball in. 26th minute here of the third term. The visitors 44 points to the good. They'll move up into second on the ladder here today. As Clarence can turn things around. Bingham charging through. Good speed, and then found McCulloch, who took a good mark. Now there is nothing ahead of him. McCulloch wide open 50. So just kick it into space and hope his men can win the foot race. They couldn't. It was the Bombers tracking the ball back, and it was Lockie Mitchell who got there first. He gives it to Hubbard. Hubbard took the second option, which is looking for Simpson, but Tilbury got in there, spoiled it away. McCulloch now with good tackle and hold things up. White double palm, but straight there to Nicholas. He's kicked onto the roof of the stand there. Miller stand. So, got to say how to bounce on the foot. Out of the precinct.
Bravo now!
Demons will take over on centre wing. Well, McCulloch with a good pair of hands there, starting to get involved with it. He goes looking for Liefhebber in a one-on-one. Slucked away from him by Chug. Now level, Sandrick picks it up, and then he is claimed immediately. All up inside forward 50. Can't be too long left here in the quarter. So Zach Barrow now being looked at by a physio. Things going from bad to worse here for the Demons. Ives got a hand on it. Sandrick will be first to the full of it, but had no one to scoop the handball to. He's got to get rid of this. He did. Hubbard flicks a handball over the top. Man Shandon. They work it by hand. This is some slick ball movement here. Pearce now runs the outer wing. He looks up wide open, forward 50 in front of him. Jack Avent peeling out behind. Campbell got across, killed it, but didn't put it out of play. Avent gathered, got a handball away for Cox Goodyear. He just stepped over the line though before the veteran could close in on the goals. Back into play once more. Busting through the pack, and he get his kick away there, Sulzberger. He did, but couldn't direct it. We'll have another stoppage. As the blade looked to carve through the stoppage there. White will go unopposed here. There's been a block off the ball spotted, and Cox Goodyear is going to get a free kick. He's trying to get a 50 as well, so he wasn't returned straight to me. Won't get that, but he will get a shot on goal from 25 out. No angle to speak of. Cox Goodyear does the business, sends it through the big sticks, and extends the lead to 50 points. Blocking free kick inside the forward 50. More salt in the wounds here as we approach three-quarter time. The Bombers in complete control here at North Hobart Oval. It's 6-5 to 1-3 here in the third quarter. Yeah, blowing them away. The Bombers. Front down. Sulzberg can get it. Ives, the tackle there, and Tilbury going nowhere. Demons down to 2 on the bench, of course, with a pair of injuries. Daly and Downham pulled out very early in this one. Pearce launching, sailing, deep ball. Will come off hands though, and the siren will bail them out before Jack Event can snap through another one. That's three-quarter time. He's a 50-point margin here. The result not in question. The Bombers are going to get the victory. Looks like they're going to move to second on the ladder. The only question remaining now is how decisive will the final margin be. We'll find that out in quarter number 4, which I'll have for you in around about 5 minutes' time. But at three-quarter time at North Hobart Oval, Northern Bombers dominating this contest. They lead 11-14, 80 to 4-6-30. Back for the final quarter here at North Hobart Oval. And the Demons 50 points in arrears as we turn in the final quarter of action here. And all the Bombers are outstanding again today. They were in hot form coming into the game. And they've continued that on this afternoon. The only question now is just how decisive will their victory be? As they look to jump up the ladder. Guinness driving into the turf there. Ives now doing the ruck work, spelling Big Lee, who's been outstanding for his side today. Over the shoulder decision will go the way of Pitt. To a man who's about to run straight into McGuinness, but they'll continue with the chain of handballs here. Back to Bennett, being forced backwards. They keep a hold of their footy. Inviting pressure, but they were composed under that pressure, and now Bennett just spreads it out across wide. Flying that was Stephenson. Touch on it and how to play for a throw in. Tough day for the Demons. Down to 2 on the bench very early in this one. Playing with only the 20 players. Daly and Downham both ruled out. It's only going to get tougher as the game wears on, you'd imagine. That one pitched in front of Ives. It'll have to be thrown in again. That one into the breadbasket of Jackson. Will have to go for a third time. Times the charm as this one's palmed over the top. Bingham crashing through. Handball from Simpson over release a runner. Steady and go with the check side efforts. He's kicked a goal, so another one for North Launceston, and a bit of celebration too. Was it Man Shandon? I think it was Man Shandon who did it. He's wheeled on through and kicked the goal, and boy has he given the celebration plenty, William Man Shandon. Always enjoy a player who celebrates his work. A little bit more of that I'd like to see. And then Shandon, well, that's the state of things at the moment here for North Launceston. They are loving life. Everything is going their way, and they're 56 points to the good. Back to the middle. Ives locking up with Jackson. Simpson grabs it. High ball inside the forward 50. Stephenson working his way to the front. McLeod trying to interject. Avens just worked it on. Now Campbell's claimed. Jackson gets his kick away, screws one around the corner. Sandrick needs to score it out of play. Bombers drive it forwards, inside forward 50 once more. The check side effort again. Job's good here this time. We got another one. It was Pearce, rather, who slapped it on the boot. Gets another one. And they are running riot at the moment here, the Northern Bombers. It is party time for them. They know they've got the 4 points. They're just trying to fill up the highlights reel at this stage, so it's looking a very good day for the Northern Bombers. For the Demons, well, every bit as dark as those clouds that have hovered overhead throughout the afternoon. Grim times indeed here. 62 points now the margin. 47 points the margin down at Twin Ovals in the top of the ladder clash there. It's 31-20 at half time. 69-22. There's good tackles laid by Fletcher Bennett. Somehow the handball got released. Did well. Sandrick now sets sail from 50. Doesn't quite have the journey. McCulloch gets a hand to it. In the end, there'll be a stoppage inside forward 50. Lee won it down to Simpson. Simpson handball to Lee Flang. Been good today. That was not so good. And pouncing is Finlay Poke. Get the journey though. Just got underneath it a little. Rushed through. Lee Flang. Ball's white, then handballs over the top to Simpson. He punches a sharp one out to Bales. He's slick off half back there, but the kick not so good. Dropping back is McLeod. So Harrison McLeod at half back. Sends it in the right direction. Lee Flang had some support from Bennett. Stays in play for Wright. He'll send them deep inside 50. The numbers favoured the Bombers. Hubbard dropped one he should have had. Fell straight there to Barrow. Snaps truly. And pulls one back for the Demons. And they make them pay for the drop there. He's fought hard today as young Zach Barrow. He's probably been just about Demons' best player for mine. He's kept working hard. He's been lively. He's given them options. Unfortunately, there just haven't been enough winners out there across the ground for them. He's been one of the few. Haven't had their colours lowered here. It's been pretty emphatic stuff from the Northern Bombers, who have been outstanding this afternoon here at North Hobart. Jackson Lee, who's back in there now. Bingham gets hands to it. Pearce tackling him and slid out to Sulzberger. Screwed one inside forward 50. Stephenson taking without the ball. Cox Goodyear lays the tackle. Handball flung out the back, right on top of it. Scooped one out to the opposition though. Pearce slaps it on the boot. Will it have the distance? Well, we're going to have a conference here. Did it touch the post, or was that the defender running? He's pointing to the moving post, but given he ran straight into the post, of course it's moving. Did the ball touch it at the same time is the question. I'd suggest, given the way the Bombers are setting up, they think it's a behind. And that is the call. So a minor score only. Guys talking their way through it well. The decision as this one's launched in the Leafhebber direction. Oh, McGuinness plucks that one. Did well. Giving the ears Tyler McGuinness. He sends this one high. In there for Jackson. White came from too deep. Handball flicked out behind by Nicholas, and now it works its way to Bales. Takes on White. Handball back to Chug under pressure. Just got away with it in time. It's Bennett rather. And that one's out of play. He's kicking off once more. Kerr and Tilbury. Not the first time Tilbury's been involved in this today. He has been an angry man out there on the football field this afternoon. And it is kicking off again here. The umpire says, well, the best way to stop this is just to get the game rolling again. Tosses it back in. Pitt gathered, handballed it off, blasted out of the area. Jackson claims it with the second grab. Guinness wanted the dish. That was ignored. Instead, Jackson will just kick it into the middle of the 50 arc. Leafhebber grabs it, then he's taken to the ground by Kerr. Umpire will toss it up. Oh, pretty clear free kick going to go there the way of Big Lee, I reckon. Oh, sorry, against Lee. For McCulloch. He'll go back and try and drive one through here. Cut the margin to 50 points. A tough day for Jack McCulloch, but he strikes that one through, gets himself a goal and cuts it back to 50 points. A free kick there, but certainly been second best in the duel he has had with the highly impressive Connor Leaflang, who I would probably have in the votes just about at this stage. Whether there's been enough supply to justify that, I'm not sure. As concerningly for the Bombers, it looks like Declan Chugg has got a bit of an injury here. He's got 2 trainers escorting him off. So that might be his afternoon done. They'll be hoping will keep him out in the long term. He's a player off half-back for them. Really impressed against Lauderdale 2 weeks ago. Thought he was terrific. It's Jackson back into the ruck. Lee will get the clearance though. Swings it on the boot. Bounced awkwardly. Pretty well dealt with there on the cloud. Sandrick coming in. He drives his opponent to the turf. So 50 points the margin. And all the Bombers. Powerful display this once again. Lee tapped it down. Blasted full by Nicholas. Campbell tried to spoil, but Ives with the strong hands. He had Monks on him. And then Campbell flying over to try and spoil, but too strong in the air. He's been good in that department today, Theo Ives. And he'll go back and try and kick another one. Make it 56 points. Looks like he's going to yell round the corner, open up the ankle, kick it on the left. That's just what he does. Does he have the accuracy? He does. He celebrated immediately. He loved it, Theo Ives. And they're out by 56 points here. Mark and goal there from the big man. Jackson and Lee. Lee palmed it down. Sandrick tumbling through. Palmed down. Trying to get free is Bingham. Got a handball away. Jackson sends him inside 50. Spoiled away towards the pocket. Leafever looks to hit this at speed. Gathered, but then Kerr came in. Got a handball away. Finlay poke. Flicked it up to Sandrick. Sandrick back there to Hilda, who got bumped off his kick and it skewed out of bounds. Certainly impacted that kick there to Jack Avent. Hilda. Lee came in, thumped it away. Right, couldn't quite gather or didn't want to gather. Sulzberger in, and contact below the knees I think has been called there, so it'll be a free kick going the way of the D's. Chance to pull one back here. So Josh Bingham, kick from just inside 50. See if he can get himself a consolation marker here. Pull back a little bit more respectability on the scoreboard. Not an easy kick though. We'll see what he can produce. Josh Bingham, he'll kick from 47. It's across the face and not working back, so behind only. Bales from fullback, chips into the pocket, and then we'll give him an option over the top. That was quickly shut down. Instead went for Simpson. There's a couple of options here. Simpson, who's been prominent in midfield today, and close one in short to Sulzberger. He goes to Ives on the wing. Controlling the football here. The Bombers, he pokes one in short. Not taken by Pitt. His kick stood up a long time and invited in White. He goes long. McCulloch out the back here. Spoil came timely from Lockie Mitchell. Simpson sweeps across in front of McCulloch. He gathers, punches out a handball. It missed Bennett though. Norton can't get there in time. And if you're going to kick into the corridor, just got to go a little bit flatter there. That's inviting danger when they just sit up in the air. And slightly sharper pass into the middle. I'm going to go for that manoeuvre. There haven't been too many mistakes from the Bombers today. They've been fantastic. Jackson around the corner, diving in and taking the slips, catches Barrow. He continues to fight on with Zach Barrow. He can hold his head high today, that's for sure. It's been a good performance from him. He bag another goal here and cut the margin back to 49. So Barrow from 40 metres out. Looks pretty good off the boot. It's a goal. Zach Barrow gets another one. They move along to 7-8-50. Still well in arrears here, 49 points behind, but been impressed by Zach Barrow this afternoon. To 23 down at the Twin Ovals. Again taking place. Tigers very much the hunter this year. They seem pretty atop the ladder. Bombers maybe one of their nearest rivals based on what we've seen the last few weeks as White swings this one inside forward 50. Jackson takes the mark. The two have been kind of interchanging forward and luck between each other all day. Combined there and a chance for another goal here. A little bit of the pressure coming off here, laid on, foot off the accelerator perhaps from North Launceston. They know their job is done. So he launches it, there's White, he doesn't have the direction. Jackson rather was a couple of false starts here on the goal square. Eventually Lee Flang will clear the area. It wasn't a great kick though, he's turned it straight over. Jackson calling for it centrally. That's ignored. He goes sideways to Bingham. Pearce stands at the... That one's worked wide. From whence it came really, and eventually they'll kick the ball deep inside forward 50. Now the big men can fly. Can anyone pluck it in the pack? They can, but that was off hand, so it'll be a stoppage. Thumped away by Lee. Simpson track it down, not quite. Back in the play. Jackson got a palm to it. Around the corner. Clean hands there from Simpson. Lefebvre now. Pressure from behind. Slaps it on the boat. Goes looking there for McCulloch, and Jackson's blocked it. From the back. Good grab that. The Demons might be able to pull back another here through Nick Jackson. Get the margin back to 42 points. They fought on as Jack Avent just went off, touching in the hamstring slightly. A late one there as Zach Barrow comes back on for the Demons, and the ball is slammed through the middle by Jackson. They get their goal, and They continue to claw back some ground late on, but the result well beyond doubt here. Launceston did the job early on. Not quite on the scoreboard in the first half, but certainly dominated the game. Then in quarter number 3, hit the accelerator and zoomed away. Last quarter. Now the Demons have shown some fight. Credit for that. But I think the pressure's been released slightly here from the Northerners in the final term. We're in red time now. 7 goals the margin. Lee slapping that one forward. What fresh air swings. Tackle laid. White. Lee went down. Simpson prolific. Couldn't quite gather this one though. Pitt on the bottom of the pack. Slapped on the boot. High up and under. Ahern, so prominent early man. Shandon comes charging through. Going to kick another banana goal. Just off target. Would have been the 3rd for the quarter there. Didn't know it was banana season, but apparently it is here at North Hobart. As Roberts has it in the back pocket. Swings this one at the line, and it's picked off there by Bales. He chips it back into the corridor for Simpson. That stacks of it today, Simpson, and he sends this one deep. A high fly from Ives. Couldn't take the mark. Tilbury put his man under pressure, and Cox Goodyear pounces on it. Sets sail with the left. But Campbell's tracking it back. It was off target either way. And behind's been signalled, so he's going to have to go back and take that kick again. He's juggled it over the line. Jordan Roberts to take the kick out. With the lights on, very dark here at North Hobart presently. So that's it's an effective kick in the end. Not sure it was his intended target from Roberts, but he found Cullen Stephenson. And he was off onto his left and spreads it wide. Knight couldn't quite complete the mark there against Simpson. Handball released just in the nick of time, and the Demons send it towards Sandrick at half forward. Pitches, gathers, just lost his footing though, Sandrick. It'll be a throw in. Lee. Handball out. Now Pitt has a bounce. It's a very early bounce. He'd taken 2 steps. Chip short. The Guinness sliding in. Cox Goodyear flicks the handball out. Ball takes a couple of deflections and then back into dispute. Pearce supplying the pressure. Almost looked to turn away with it. On the left was Young. Off hands. Roberts got a fist to it. Ahern lurking dangerously. Theo Ives picks it up. Gets his handball away. Flicked it over the top. Cloud coming through. Got the handball, but he might have set up man Shandon. He fires one back into Pitt. Was he taken high? He was. There'll be a free kick for the Bombers. And Pitt try and kick the margin back out to 50 points. He immediately plays on. Snaps around the corner. And kicks their 15th of the afternoon. As Dominic Pitt. 107 plays 57 here. Late on. Dying embers of this one at North Hobart. The Bombers on their way to an emphatic victory. Not sure how much Launceston boosted their percentage by, but it could be the Northern Bombers into second. Launceston with a huge win over Glenorchy. I don't know if that changes things, but I think Northern Bombers will be second after this weekend's action, with Launceston in third and the Tigers sitting atop. So it's the way the league's sitting, I think. This one's steered forward there by Mansell. Just hacked on out of there, straight to Lee. Lee, he spears a short one and finds Pitt. Pitt had a man on over the top. That's where he heads, sends it wide. And a running effort, a goal is there. Another one for the Bombers. Didn't quite catch who it was, sorry, but he's been absolutely mobbed by his teammates as the party time continues here for the Bombers. They have been outstanding this afternoon. They kick away and get yet another goal. Extend the lead even further. Can't be long left now. 26 minutes have ticked by in the final term. 56 points the margin. Back into play. Lee thumping it down. Simpson turning. The goal scorer was Sam Simpson, by the way. Apologies for not picking that up initially. Bingham handballs over the top. Slapped on the boot out of there. McGuinness takes it away. Drew a man, then handball, but his man wasn't really looking. Right in the end, tumbles it off the deck to half forward. Barrow was clean, then got it over the top for Hilda. He'll roll onto it here. Hilda from the pocket, tries to dribble it through. That was ill-advised. There was a man on the line. Playing goalkeeper was Lee Flang. He continues his stellar day in defence and saves a goal. His kick not so good there, but they almost recover it. Then he ran past it. They've coughed it up. Just a little sloppy. Bingham with time to turn, steady, and drive it through. Josh Bingham grabs the consolation goal for the Demons. And ninth of the afternoon. Just about the only mistake Connor Lee Flang's made all afternoon there. But I think at this stage of the game they'll let him off that one. He's been fantastic on that difficult assignment, and Jack McCulloch. He's really done a fine job back there today. The margin is cut back to 49 points, 27.5 have ticked by in the final term, final siren. I'd imagine fairly imminent here. Now, the Demons have fought on. They've been outmatched here today, but they've worked hard in this final quarter. Wanted it being a massive blowout, and they've won the final term now, 4-3. So something to hang their hats on as Lee smacks this one over the top. Charging through was Simpson. White flicked the handball out. Jackson. White dishes the handball and they square it up to McGuinness. McGuinness from half back. Drives a long kick straight down the hay. Little one was a little sloppy there from Mitchell. Picked off Tilbury. Right. McCulloch diving. Lee Flang had no chance there. Reached out to grab that one. Right at ground level, McCulloch. Front position, it pays off for him there. I think it was probably more a shot on goal from Wright that pulled up short than a pass, but it's worked out. McCulloch should be able to bag his second of this final term. And brings it back to 43 points. So they've kicked 6 goals in the final term here, have the Demons. Pressure perhaps coming off a little from the Bombers, but they've soldiered on. With 2 on the bench, it would have been very easy to wave the white flag and be completely overrun, but they've boxed on all right. Having said that, no doubt, it's the Northern Bombers' day. They have been good value for their victory this afternoon. And the game was there to be won early on. And the real heat was on in the game. They were all over the Demons. So 10-10 to 16-17. We've travelled 29 and a half minutes in the final quarter. Lee punches down Sandrick, trying to charge through the contest, but Simpson's got a hold of him. And those two, Lee and Simpson, I think will probably be very much factoring in the calculation for votes tonight. They've got it done in the engine room, those two. Ball fired out the back. Comes over to the right. Jackson steers one in the Barrow direction. Barrow paddles it into the pocket, gathers, got it on the boot, steered it back. It was out of play though, fortunately for Josh Hilda. I thought he was going to be able to bag another. Jackson takes it into the pocket. Simpson flicked a handball out. Charging through Sulzberger. In front of Ives had pitched and it's out the back here. Might be an opportunity if it would sit, but it wouldn't for Jack Avent. Past 31 minutes now in the final term, but not too surprising. There's been 11 goals kicked here in the final term. Slapped into the middle, McGuinness. A little bit of candy sold there from Bingham, but then he was caught by Nicholas. The ball sweeps across to Kerr. Kerr drew a man, then bounced off Finlay Pogue, bullocked his way forward, got the kick down there, but it was picked off by Roberts. Jordan Roberts launches it in the right direction. He takes the mark unopposed. Can they find another one late? Barrow's peeled out into some space here. That's where he heads. Couldn't complete the mark. Hubbard got across and impacted it and received the handball from Simpson. They'll chip it up to Lee on the wing, and fittingly, it will end in the arms of Alex Lee. He was fantastic today for the Northern Bombers, and they end this one 43-point victors. 16-17, 113 to North Hobart, 10-10-70. They won the final term, kicked 6 goals to 5, and showed a little bit of heart laid on to run the game out with 2 on the bench. But this was the Bombers' day. They move up into second place on the TSL ladder with an emphatic victory. They're starting to build quite the season here, the Northern Bombers. Stringing results together, charging up the ladder. They may well be the nearest rivals to the Tigers. Impressive again today. Myself, Andrew calling the action for you here at North Hobart today. I hope you've enjoyed the coverage. Until next week, it's bye for now.